second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And that is going to be incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. 30. 10. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He had to go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. They'll start out on the ground with a jive. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
His throw incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And Jeffrey's got it. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards it.
And got his man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now they try the right side here. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And this offense on third down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is third and goal. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Come on, let's go!
Again, it's Miller. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On second down, here's Watson. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Third down and 5.
Here we go! Ohio! Here we go!
Here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They are going for it. Here's Watson and finding Fedorowicz. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Let's go!
They'll toss it to Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down.
Let's go!
Here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. The Texans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And the pitch goes to Miller. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired. And
that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Let's go.
Now Watson. And he is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, other teams just...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller, and he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it again with Miller. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Miller, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Come on, let's go.
They're going for it. It's Watson, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And now they'll run it here off tackle. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Nigel Bradham. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go.
Here's Watson looking to throw on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Come on, let's go.
On 4th down, Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now Foles. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So they're operating in the red zone. Here's Foles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller trying to run inside, but nothing there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. second down, here's Miller. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To throw is Watson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Christian Covington in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. But not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
On play action, they'll throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Bulls. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Setting up the screen for Miller. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And what are the whistles for a timeout? So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Come on, let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games,